and adding them separately. Library required adding this all separately. I kept all my jars which I'm going to use in a single folder. This is all the jars which I'm going to use, and this one too along with them. In this program we won't be using this p6 spy, and other than that you need everything. So DOM actually is used to parse the XML file, and so we need these jars. So start with the program, and now let's click the project and say properties and build paths, add external jars, and I go to the folder where I kept all my jars and just add all of them, open them, and one more jar which was on my desktop, that was the open it. Okay, finished. Now all my jars are added. I need to actually write this program. Now the first thing we need to create, there's a specific 4 file lines which are supposed to be same for all the Hibernate programs. So see this 4 file lines clearly. First thing I'm going to create a configuration object so that I can configure my configuration file and tell it where it's available. So I press Control space and I say get configuration. Okay, yeah. Now see, I get configuration. There are 2 configurations available. One is Java X security.authentication.login, which I'm not going to use. What I'm going to use over here is configuration org.hibernate.cfg. Alright, so this is the configuration I'm going to use. It imported the configuration file from the Hibernate package. So configuration object is equal to new configuration. Alright, now using this configuration object, what I want to do is I want to configure my hibernate.cfg.xml file. So what I'll do is configure cfg.configure. What am I supposed to configure? I'm supposed to configure my hibernate.cfg.xml file. Now I have configured my hibernate.cfg.xml configuration file. Now what I need to do is I need to create an object called session factory. Alright, SF is equal to one session factory contains multiple sessions. Build cfg.build session factory. Then using this session factory objects, I create a session session object session. There are many sessions. We use our organization Hibernate session, not the classic one. Alright, session S equals sf.open session. Alright, then finally you have a transaction, tx equals s.begin transaction. Alright, so this is the 5 lines code, or actually yeah, it's 5 line code which you need to run any what you call Hibernate file. Or you have to have this 5 lines of code before you do anything with the database. Now what do? I'll be inserting the data, but I won't write any SQL query. I'll simply insert it. How? You're gonna see this. Now what I'm going to do is, I know that right now the configuration file is configured. I know that session factory is build a session. I have available transaction with me. Now when I say Hibernate file is configured, that means I have my Pojo class mapped to the database. So I don't need to write any SQL query to actually run my commands or perform some manipulation from the command line like SQL. I'll simply use my class that's available to me, the Pojo class, because I know it's already mapped. So I create the class object employee emp equals new employee, empty constructor which we declared. Alright, employee emp equals new employee. Now I'm using the session employee emp dot set id. Now this id I'm gonna keep 1, then emp dot set name Jacob. Alright, some name Jack. Alright, Jack. emp dot set mobile, that's 4445544. Alright, emp dot set email, that is xyz at the rate of xzxy.com. Alright, let's keep this small. I don't know how much length I kept there. So these are my 4 variables: id, name, mobile, email. id, name, mobile, email. Alright, now I have assigned them some particular values. Now I want them to be saved in my database. So what do? I say s.save what? Employee object. Alright, now when I say s.save employee object, what it does is it saves the employee object so that it can be mapped. But now, till now, the transaction is not committed, nor is it available in our database. So we need to write something called, we need to commit this transaction, because we disable the auto commit mode, so that is important too. So we have s.employee, we have s.flush. Now when I say s.flush, what happens is the SQL query for insertion of these values in the database is generated. The SQL query for inserting these values 1 Jack 4455544 is generated, so that the value is inserted in this table. Alright, so SQL query is generated. Now when I say tx.commit, the transaction is actually committed. Then s.close, I close the session and everything is closed, so I don't have to worry about memory management and stuff. Hibernate takes care of everything at the Hibernate framework. So this is done. Let's run it to check it out whether it inserts the data. Alright, so let's run this program, a Java application, and it's running. Oh, I got an error, so let's see. Could not determine the type for string at table employee for column email. Oh, I did a mistake. Somewhere I wrote string in my Hibernate configuration file. Oh, it's going to be string. Now clear this off. Okay, now let's run it again. So run as Java applications, save all. Okay, alright, there's one more error, so let's check what it is. Explanation in main thread, wait, caused by org.hibernate.ng.dialect. I left a T over there, it's T. Alright, save this, Control S. Now let's clear this off and run it again. Alright guys, let's run it again. Run as Java application. Now let's see. Alright, one more error. I think I did some typing mistakes. Alright, what's the error now? Let's go up. Alright, the error is in JDBC transaction factory. Alright, see in the configuration file jdbc dot. Alright, there's some very big mistake over here. Factory. Save it, Control S, and let's see what happens now. Clear this off, clear it, and run it again. Run as Java application. Hopefully it should work now. Alright, see, now since we use the configuration of some We use this to display SQL query. Now our SQL query is displayed. Insert into what we are doing, we are inserting into employee table. These are the comments, since we say use SQL underscore comments. Now it's in formatted way. Insert into employee, e-name, mobile, email, and ID. This is not going to be shown for security purpose. Values, these are the column names, and the values are question mark, question mark, question mark, and question mark. Alright, so let's check our database and see whether the values are updated. Open our database. Alright, select star from employees, run. Oh come on, employee or employees, run. Alright, yeah, employee. So the table is visible. ID 1, email, e-name, Jack, mobile, email. Does it match? We inserted ID 1, name Jack, mobile, email. Let's enter second value and something new. Let's say Ronnie and not D 9, and let's say ABC at the rate of abc.com. Now run this. Alright, okay, successful. Select star from employee, run again. See, you have the second ID, e-name, mobile. So this is how Hibernate framework works. Simply you what's the main basic, or what's the most what you call easiest way to explain it is, you simply have a class, and that class is mapped to the table, and that's how you insert the data. You don't need to write any SQL query for running or modifying your database. And probably in the next tutorial I'm going to show you how to select a row from the database into and display it in our Java program, and how to perform update and other stuffs. So for now, thank you for watching this tutorial, and I hope it helped you to understand Hibernate better. Thank you.